Now, I have absolutely no idea who this lady is, but she seems to have upset a lot of people on Twitter. And of course, there were progressives salivating and going like, see, we told you, sexismus. Oh yes, this is a case of sexismus in the gaming industry. We told you. They are trying to gatekeep. Gatekeep. I don't know how exactly you can gatekeep from your bedroom on social media while not being in charge of the hiring that goes on Blizzard. Like, the only way you can gatekeep is if you're the HR lady. That's the only person that can gatekeep. I wish I had the power to gatekeep from my bedroom, but unfortunately, I don't even have the power of convincing my own viewers to subscribe to the channel. So let's put that out of the way. No, the reason most people are upset about it has nothing to do with her gender. Like, she could have been a young man or an elderly gentleman, and people would have still been upset. Why? Because of this. Zero gaming experience or connections. This is right here. Like, this is the reason why people are upset. Because this is not an indie company. It's Blizzard. It's one of the most renowned corporations in the world when it comes to video games. And it used to have standards. It used to push out very good products. And you can't do this with people that have zero gaming experience. It used to be that if you wanted to work at an important company, whether it is Blizzard, whether it is Marvel, or whether it is DC Comics, you had to start your career from an independent company or maybe one of their competitors. You had to work up from there, and then you could get hired. And when you got hired, it was a very low position. And then maybe after a couple of years, after learning the ropes, you could actually become someone like a talent marketing specialist. And a lot of people are pointing out, it's like, well, the lady is a talent marketing specialist. Like, what does she need to know about video games? It's like, well, doesn't it help knowing the product to sell it better? Doesn't it help understanding what the customer wants? And again, the main concern is that this is not just a one-off. You know, it's not just the talent marketing. It's probably happening a lot more. And we actually know cases where it's even the development team and other people that are being hired who have zero experience, and they're being hired based on their pedigree and their identity, right? Now, a lot of people will say, well, this is feminism, this is empowering. I don't know if this way of thinking, if it's applied at large, is very empowering for her son or her husband or her brother, because I don't think men and women are competing with each other in a zero-sum game for resources. I think in a society, men and women are there to complete each other, and hopefully people get jobs and are promoted based on their skill. Because if otherwise, like, if you're saying that this is a good thing, like, let's assume that you have, like, I don't know, diversity quotas, and you're basically saying to this woman's son, to her brother, to her father, you're saying, like, no matter how good you're going to be, it doesn't even matter if you try. Like, you should just give up. Like, just give up trying altogether. You're never going to get this position. Okay? It's kind of like going back to feudalism, where a peasant is never going to be a squire. Like, just give up. Like, you're a peasant. Like, there's other jobs for you. You can clean the sewer. You can become a janitor. There's welfare. You can be dependent on the state. Yes. But, like, stop trying. Stop trying to go above your level. Stop trying to punch above your weight. Unless you're a millionaire, then you can be a CEO. You know, then you can buy stocks in a company and then you can be on the board. But unless you're that, right? So this is why people are upset. It's because it's against meritocracy. Like, people don't have a problem with the fact that she's a lady. People have a problem with the fact that she mentions she has zero gaming experience and she is not the first person in this position. And then when you look at how most of these corporations do the marketing, they put on a very bad product. They usually talk about diversity and inclusion. And when you criticize the product for actual reasons, like maybe there's bugs, maybe you don't like the story, maybe you don't like some of the characters, they'll be like, no. The only reason you're criticizing is because of sexismus, misogynismus, transmophobismus, racismus, Americanismus. Right? So people are also fed up with this line of marketing. Like, there are so many people that will flat out refuse to buy a product the moment they hear this tune. Because it's been done. It's been played so long. The orchestra is tired. People want to go home. The applause, the fat lady has sung. Like, it's over. It's over. If I'm not mistaken, Steve Jobs talked about this. There's a very popular video of him explaining this situation on YouTube, where he says that when a company is small and they have a small group of people, small dedicated group of developers, they understand what the customer wants. They know what makes the product great. And that's why they're very successful, very innovative. But as the company grows and you have more and more success, then the salespeople come in. Then the company becomes too large. And the salespeople are the ones that start taking over. They're now the front of the company. And they don't know what exactly the customer wants. They don't understand what was it that the product had that made it great. And they make all these bad decisions, also towards the customer, also towards the game developers. And in the end, the product ends suffering because of it. And what's more interesting is that if you look at most corporations, especially IT companies, usually the actual developers, the people who make the game, they're at the ground level. Like, they're underground, working at computers with no sunlight, with vitamin D deficiency, in open offices. And then the salespeople are the ones that have the beautiful offices with bright windows, and they got the smiley faces. Because you get to see the hierarchy. Of course, they will say, well, it's because the servers need to be on the... That's bullshit. They know it. The game developer knows it. It's simply the fact that the game developers are usually unsavory people, according to, the sales people. They don't like that the game developers suffer from autismus, and they sometimes speak their mind, which is very horrible in a company. So that's why they're ashamed of the game developers, and they stuff them in the basement. And then the salespeople are now the face of the company, and they're the ones that have the ear of upper management. And it's unfortunate, right? Because that shows you're being disconnected from the customer. And in this situation, like hiring salespeople that don't know anything about video games and haven't played the game, and they're supposed to sell the product, not good in my opinion, especially when it's Blizzard. Like, surely you can find people who played your games. But what do I know? I'm just a troll. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.